Grandma wisdom, those basics that sometimes we forget that they build a strong foundation. Let's talk about them today. My number one question: how was your water intake yesterday? Did you have strong hydration for your body? I didn't. And so today I am focused on hydrating my body. Another basic: liver. Do you love liver? I don't. My mom does. She thinks it is like a comfort food, liver and onions. I've tried all the ways, lots of different ways, and I finally just came to the realization I don't care for liver. It is not my comfort food. It is my power food, though. So, what's a girl to do? Desiccated liver. Desiccated just meaning that the liver's dried out, but not everybody should take desiccated liver. So let's talk about the downsides of desiccated liver and how to know if it's a good fit for you, while remembering I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, I am not telling you what to do. We're just having conversations about how to keep energy levels up. The number one thing that women will share with me is, I'm tired. I wake up tired. Energy is your power food, or energy. Liver is your power food for energy because it's so nutrient dense. It's got good iron, it's loaded with B12. But I want to talk about something that we haven't talked about before, you and I: nucleic acids. The older we get, the less nucleic acid that we naturally produce. Nucleic acid directly benefits how your cells communicate, create the communication, and send the communication. Desiccated liver, when processed correctly, when grown correctly, grass fed, grass finished, desiccated liver is loaded with nucleic acid, helping your body communicate at the cellular level more powerfully. If you're pregnant, the recommendation is to keep your liver under 1,500 grams of liver. Talk with your doctor. That's something that you need to specifically be working with whomever is helping you on your pregnancy, because desiccated liver does have vitamin A, and I have put it on sale. This weekend, I talked to so many women who were tired and they weren't taking desiccated liver. And typically, within about 3 days, you start to feel the benefits of liver. So the coupon code is liver25. And if you go to Living the Good Life Naturally, Shelly's thrown up the links, and use the coupon code liver25, you've got access to one of the most powerful foods: nucleic acid, whole food vitamin Bs. In fact, it's the richest whole food with vitamin B12 that you can get. And it's also got vitamin D. And our grandmas knew what liver could do for our body. We've talked about before how liver clears out stored iron. So many times when we have issues with our iron panel, it's not actually that we're not getting enough iron, it's that our iron is not moving like it should. And if it's not moving like it should, then we're not getting the benefit. Desiccated liver, again, when processed correctly, has copper. And when you get quality copper, that's what moves that stored iron out of your muscles. And when you do that, your energy increases. If you have menopause symptoms, if you have hormone problems, that all can be connected to stored iron. Getting whole food supplementation of copper can help move that out. And I'm going to sing this a lot today because it's not often that this goes on sale. Liver 25 will get you 25% off. Now, the label's a little bit different. This is an older batch that I'm still finishing up. And this new batch that came in has just a little bit of update on the label. But it's livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, liver 25. The other thing that happens when we take liver, so we're talking about nucleic acids and improving cellular communication. We're talking whole food vitamin B12. We're talking an incredible source of iron. We're talking copper to help move that stored iron. Did you know it also has K2? K2 is such an important food to add. And yeah, you can take a supplement, but it's just not the same as getting it from whole food sources. Natto is a great source of K2. The smell, oh, just, I can't do it. I just can't do it. But I can get my K2 from desiccated liver. Now, because I'm a celiac, I K2 is one that's really important for my body that I need to be nourishing it. And K2 is if you're celiac or gluten intolerant or have autoimmune, we know that part of the journey to get to those places was not enough K2. Maria, you are so welcome for the 25% off. I realized as I this weekend as I met some people in our new neighborhood, and all of them were talking about low energy. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, and so I kind of steered the subject over to desiccated liver, and just the benefits of this superfood just go on and on and on with the nucleic acid, the B12, the iron, the K2 that our vitamin D needs, our vitamin A. Now, on copper, we talked a little bit about pregnancy, and you can overdo desiccated liver. You can take too much desiccated liver, and you can create imbalance on your copper zinc ratio. So, desiccated liver is something that you start low and go slow. Just start low and go slow, and determine and get feedback from your body on what the right amount is for you. It is powerful, and you can take too much of this because of the vitamin A and because of the copper. And so the dosage that works for me may not be the dosage that works for you. Oh, Nancy, this is a great question. Does liver have the whole food complex of B vitamins, or do I still have to take a complex B? So it does have trace amounts, but not in the same amount that it has B12. And so for me, I take other sources for my complex B. Some people don't add more Bs. I'm someone who does. I feel better with them. My brain function is better with them. And so I do a little bee bread that has complex B, and I also do pollen that has complex B, especially right now. We've been working this weekend with this beautiful weather. We worked in our yard and the spring, and my allergies kicked in a little bit, and pollen and my bee bread will help to keep that down. I'll also be adding some stinging nettle for those spring allergies. That's my favorite combination to make sure that I'm equipping my body so that I'm not experiencing spring allergies. As someone who was a massive allergy sufferer as a young child, and literally wore like breathing apparatus things because my allergies were so bad. And so I do supplement with other things. B vitamins are tricky in that making them and getting the benefit from a supplement. I have supplemented with a quote supplement, not a whole food for B complex, but anytime I can, I want to focus on the whole food sources for my B complex. Oh, the bee bread. I picked up my last one at Whole Foods, I believe. It's Spartan. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I've gotten it from a couple different places, and it's Spartan bee bread, and it's just this little disc of goodness of nutrients and has a nice B complex in it. And again, on those like pollen and bee bread, you need to go low and slow because you can bring on a reaction. I also love adding freeze-dried stinging nettle. Freeze-dried stinging nettle is my best friend when I'm concerned if there's a lot of seasonal type allergies happening. Okay, so let me circle back. Nancy, I hope that that helped guide some of that question. Let's circle back to the K2. Vitamin D works better with K2. And liver is such a beautiful source of K2. And it is in that whole food form. You can get supplementation of K2. I just don't see it in my own body and with clients. I just don't see it making the difference that a whole food supplementation does of K2. Now, here's the downside. We talked a little bit about the making sure that your copper zinc balance is strong, because if you take too much desiccated liver, you can throw that imbalance off. And we talked about pregnancy. You really want to make sure that you're not going into vitamin A toxicity for the baby that you're carrying. There's another thing that can come up when you're taking desiccated liver, and that is it is a powerful nutrient. We talked about all of those things that are in it. Plus, did you know it also is a great source of magnesium, a whole food source of magnesium? I mean, does it get better than this? No, I don't think so. When you're taking your desiccated liver, it will shine the light. Powerful nutrition shines the light on what your body needs, just like magnesium does. Magnesium, soaking in magnesium, will shine the light if you don't have enough potassium and if your voltage is very off. Soaking in magnesium is going to magnify that. And desiccated liver will shine the light on your hydrochloric acid. If you are low in hydrochloric acid and you start out with a dose of 4 of these, you could get gassy, you could burp, you could get bloated, you could get heartburn because you don't have enough hydrochloric acid to break down the nutrition. Now, the beautiful thing is there's ways that we can balance that out. And that's why I always say, FDA, you have to put on like a dosage and thing on dosage serving size on the back. Start lower than that. Like start lower to see how your body manages it. And when you're taking it, take one pill, see how you do with it, see how your body breaks it down. And if you get any of those, this is, Lori, this is my own brand, livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. I am a control freak about what I put in my body after my health crash. Not that I'm perfect. Please don't, like, I don't do things perfectly. If I'm paying good money for a supplement, then I want to make sure it does not have high heavy metals, because I had an issue on the surgery with heavy metals. And desiccated liver can be high in heavy metals. And then it can be processed so fast that you lose the nutritional quality, or it's not grass fed and grass finished. And I couldn't find one that gave me all of those things: slow processing, grass fed, grass finished. Boom. So it's mine. You can find it at livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, and you can use, and this sale will last for 3 days. You can use liver 25 to get 25% off. Oh, yes, great. Yeah, grab it at the same time. And here's the thing: liver and magnesium go hand in hand. The nutrition in liver supports the benefits of magnesium. The vitamin C in liver. We don't think of liver as a source of vitamin C, but it is. And the vitamin C in liver is so supportive of our adrenals. And the more we support our adrenals, the more effectively we can hold on to our magnesium. So I want to go back to the low hydrochloric acid. And now remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, because again, doing a betaine protocol is not for everyone. If you have ulcers, a betaine protocol will make those worse. And so you really need to dive deeper if you're going to do a betaine protocol. If you're getting that feedback from your body, though, acid reflux or gassing, getting gassy or burping or bloating, or you know how you can, people feel like it's coming back up. That can be, not always, but a lot of times it can be signs of low hydrochloric acid. Doing a betaine protocol can help bring your hydrochloric acid up. And I personally, when I do a betaine protocol, which I'm doing one right now, I always do for my body. I don't have ulcers, so it's a good fit for me. Oh, Marcy, that's wonderful. Let me know how that goes. And I want to make sure to really flesh out this betaine protocol, because I know a lot of you will be excited to try this, and then that wall hits, like, oh, I'm trying this, but I'm getting this. And the betaine protocol can help. I always do one in the spring, because low hydrochloric acid also allows parasites to just flourish in your body. And so in the spring, I always do a betaine protocol. Sometimes I do one in the fall, just depending on where I'm at, but always personally in the spring, it's a good fit for me. Adding betaine, I always want to make sure it's betaine with Pepsid, because the Pepsid will protect my gut. So betaine with Pepsid. And then is how I do it. I'm sitting on these stairs, it's getting awkward. My desk is still not set up. Is how I do a betaine protocol is I make sure that I've got betaine with Pepsid, and I also just start with one pill. And I take it about 20 minutes before a meal. And then I watch as I eat that meal, and about an hour after the meal, how, was there any belching or burping or gas or bloating? Did any of those things go away? And did I experience any burning? And if you experience burning, you're taking too much betaine. Betaine's powerful, and we don't want to take too much, because too much can cause issues also. And so if you get that burning sensation or heat, some people will say it just feels hot, you can neutralize that with a little bit of baking soda. And so usually for me, my dosage is between 2 and 4 pills. But is what I'll do is I'll adjust it each time I do a protocol. For instance, this time I got up to 3 pills and experienced just a little bit of that warmth or burning sensation. I neutralized that with a little bit of baking soda and I backed down by 1 pill because I want to be just under where that burning happens for my betaine protocol. And then typically I'll do it for about 3 months before I determine if I need to continue or if I've really built up that hydrochloric acid. And I also, when I'm doing a betaine protocol, Denise, I don't have one that I absolutely love. Here's what I like gravitate to. I look for one that has the least amount of fillers. I want betaine, I want pepsin, and the least amount of fillers. And so that's what I'm looking for when I look for one. And when I'm doing my betaine protocol, I use it as a wake up call because if I'm needing betaine, one of the things is it means I'm not managing my breathing and my stress. And so I'm also really watching, and it also means I'm not chewing my food well enough. And so this is a time for me. I don't want to just rely on fixing it with the betaine. I want to take accountability and more responsibility. And okay, how did I get here that I'm needing to do this betaine protocol? Lack of chewing my food, not managing stress, holding it in my gut, and not having good, deep breathing practices. And so when I'm on a betaine protocol, it's a great time for me to remind myself of those things that I need to be doing to naturally manage better digestion for myself. And let's see. And you'll notice when it's about 2.5, 3 weeks in, you'll start to notice a difference on your skin because your body will start shuttling nutrition better with better hydrochloric acid. You'll also notice an energy increase with better hydrochloric acid. And you'll notice that when you're taking your liver, you don't get that burping, bloating, acid reflux because your hydrochloric acid is stronger. But remember, a betaine protocol is not for everyone. If you have ulcers, it's not a good fit for you. It will aggravate those ulcers. So I want to just one more time remind you, 3-day sale of desiccated liver. This does not go on sale very often. It is a powerhouse of nutrition. Nucleic acid, B12, vitamin D, vitamin A, copper, K2, vitamin C. There are so many superfoods in this whole food. And taking it has made, this is, it's made such a difference for me in my healing journey because when you give your body the building blocks, and you can go back to the beginning of the Olympics when the Olympics started, and they would take liver before the Olympics because it would enhance their performance because their body would be so built up. That's what liver does. It builds up your body, and like heals like. If I had some liver issues after my surgery with high liver enzymes and some fatty liver, and this has been a huge part in helping me get on top of a healthier liver, which means a healthier everything when your liver's healthier. And liver has been shown to make a difference in the functionality of the actual organ in our body of liver. So 25% off. You do need to use coupon code liver 25. It's at livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. And it helps you hold on to magnesium because it's that grandma wisdom, right? It's going back to the basics, making sure our body has the nutrition that it needs. Simple things. Are you hydrated? I got dehydrated yesterday. Today, I am so focused on my hydration. It's not about getting to a place of saying, okay, I'm healthy, I'm done. It's about constant self care, checking in with your body. Am I breathing while I sit at my desk? Am I taking big deep breaths? Am I sitting up, putting my shoulders back? Am I moving to the level that I need to move? Am I getting that nutrition in? Desiccated liver, done properly, grass fed, grass finished, air dried, slowly, is my favorite way to get a slew of nutrition into my body. And go low and slow. Serving size has to be put on the back. There's regulations for that. Personally, I would start lower than what it says on the back to see how your body manages it. And if you have any concerns, because there are some people that taking desiccated liver, it's not a good fit. And so it's not for everyone. And that, I think, is a part of the journey that can be overwhelming, in that you see somebody doing something that makes such a difference for them, and then you try it and it's not a good fit for you. And instead of, if there was one thing I could help women see, like the overview that I have of so many women creating health, is that, for example, if you take this and you get some bloating, oh, it doesn't work for me, put it aside. Why? Why are you getting the bloating? It's showing you, it's shining the light on what your body needs. Because if you don't have enough hydrochloric acid, your hormones are not going to be balanced. Hydrochloric acid plays a huge role in your hormone and symptoms of hormones. And so instead of just going, oh, it's not working for me, let's find out why. And it might be a betaine protocol that would be beneficial for you. Again, all of this is laid at your feet, not that you need to go do these things, that they're beneficial, they're foundational for you to determine if it's a good fit for you. Pregnant mamas, you need to run it by your doctor. You need to evaluate how much vitamin A am I getting, because we don't want to go into vitamin A toxicity, especially during pregnancy. It can be incredibly beneficial during pregnancy, but too much, just like water. You drink too much water and you're in trouble. So not meant to scare you or create fear, but to remember, drive responsibly. Take your supplements responsibly, and remember they're powerful. And in adding power and nutrition to our body, we need to be aware of what it can do and how it's changing our body. The nucleic acid is so hard to find in other sources and other places. And as we age, we create less of it. And so getting that boost of nucleic acid can be a game changer for people who have long periods, that their periods won't stop. Think of this as the great balancer of how long periods last. And man, oh man, is it an incredible process to watch someone who has a lot of periods that are just lasting too long add desiccated liver, and their periods balance out to a, a more balanced timeline. It's incredible what the nutrition in desiccated liver can do for our bodies hormonally, and brain food and gut food and nutrition for your liver. It's a superfood. It's incredible what it can do. And right now it's on sale. Liver 25 will give you 25% off at livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. And I would love to know. And oh, let's see. Here is. Okay, I want to make sure. Oh, just placed your order. Linda. Oh, Linda, who cannot take desiccated liver? Um, if if your body's at a point that you're not clearing out your vitamin A, desiccated liver might not be a good fit for you. And that doesn't happen very often, but for some people, usually those people have identified, ooh, I have this issue, because that'll show up on blood work, and whomever you work with will call that out, like, oh, this is something we need to look at. People who are pregnant need to make sure that they're taking their vitamin A in appropriate levels for them. Can you cut half of the liver capsule? Oh, very susceptible to supplementation. You you can open them, but cutting them in half, I would just open it, and then I would sprinkle the liver on a food and take it that way. The taste of the liver, again, is something that is not my favorite, and so I wouldn't be able to just take it straight. Is what I've done before is I've made, the avocado pudding. Have you ever made the avocado pudding? Maybe Shelley could find a recipe that we can post after the live of the avocado pudding that's just delicious. Putting it in avocado pudding, chocolate avocado pudding hides the taste of the liver. And so that might be a good fit for you. I know a lot of moms, that's how they get it in their kids if they're not old enough to swallow capsules. They'll open it up and put it in the avocado chocolate pudding, and their kids don't realize that they're taking the desiccated liver. Now, some people might be able to take it just straight powder. I personally would not be able to. And so I would just pop it open and then sprinkle a little bit. And I love the fact, Nancy, that you're taking that recommendation of going low and slow. Oh, do you take the liver supplement with food, all 4 capsules at the same time? I do. Taking it with food. Oh, this is a great question. I so appreciate it when questions come in. Thank you. Thank you, because it just helps me to clarify. Um, so Elizabeth asked this, do you take it with food, all 4 capsules at the same time? Brings up a point I did not bring up. This has fat soluble and water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins do better if they're taken with more fat. And so taking it with your meal that has other healthy fats included is going to give you more benefit to the fat soluble vitamins. And then, yes, I take all 4 at a time. Now, I have some loved ones that I love that have not built up to 4 at a time. And so they take 1 at each meal throughout the day. And so, again, making that work for your body becomes incredibly important. And maybe at the beginning, taking it just 1 a day instead of 1 at every meal, so that you're doing that low and slow and making sure that it's appropriate for your body. Liver 25% off our desiccated liver. The sale will be done Wednesday night or while supplies last. I've got quite a bit, so I don't think we'll blow through that. You never know though. Some sales just are crazy, and then others, not a whole lot of traction. So I'm just not sure, but I don't think we'll blow through all of the, because I bought every single ounce that they offered me. The other thing is taking it morning versus night. I personally do not like taking this at night because of the B vitamins. It wakes me up, and I don't want it to disrupt my sleep, and my brain gets just firing. And so if I were only taking 1 a day, I would take it with breakfast. Now, I can take it with dinner. Usually when I cut off things, that I know might be a sleep disruptor, I would do that by 2 o'clock. On my liver, and this is just my own personal notes, okay? Just sharing with you my own personal little things I've figured out for my body. On my liver, I can take it with dinner and it doesn't disrupt. And because I have several things that I do in the morning, unless I'm really bulking up on my liver, I take it with dinner. So that's the best fit for me. If you're concerned about your sleep, taking it in the morning will be probably the most helpful, and because we don't want to disrupt sleep for anything. Elizabeth, you're very kind. I um I I want to be a part of the solution of women feeling better. And so you saying that is like a lifelong dream for me. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and it means a lot to me. I never want to come across like you, oh, do this, because that takes away from um, the the stewardship that we each have over our body. I hope it comes across in a let me lay this at your feet. This is what I've learned. What do you think? What have you tried? Kind of thing. And I so appreciate the questions because that helps me flesh out the things that I've learned over the last 25 years of watching women. Now, I do want to say this as I have my own granddaughters hitting this stage. If you want to set the tone for a young female in your life, get her on desiccated liver. Her hormonal journey will be calmer, better, and not take away from the trajectory of what she does by getting her on desiccated liver and setting her body up to be equipped for what it needs for that cycle to happen. It's something that watching someone who has really, really long periods and how draining that can be on their body, add desiccated liver, and literally say, I haven't had a period that short, 4 to 5 days in years. And the only thing that changed was adding the desiccated liver. Sometimes it's not the first period of when you start it, but the second cycle is when to watch for the difference. And yes, Marcy, if we can take, and that's where I think that grandma wisdom becomes really important. If we can take things that we've experienced and we can help somebody who's at the beginning of that journey to make a difference, that's the most powerful transformation, in my opinion. And so, those young girls, if we can help them understand the role that nutrition plays in not only their periods that they're having now, but as they hit perimenopause and menopause and postmenopause, for those of us who are at that stage, it makes a difference. And I actually quit taking the liver and because I couldn't find a source that didn't have high heavy metals, and heavy metals are just, my body does not do well with heavy metals. And so I was off of it for a while. And it was so interesting, like, oh, I didn't realize the benefit here and the benefit there and the benefit here. My brain, my gut, my liver, my hormones, my energy, it just touches so many areas. And it was 2020 that I went into part of it. Now I want to take full responsibility. Part of it was I was sitting in front of a computer wondering, is the business going to make it through this? Because there was so much uncertainty during 2020 with supply chains. And I let my walking go down. And so I started having some insulin resistance. I also didn't have my liver. And the combination of those two things And it took me a while to build that back up. And so this is one for me that I just don't like being without. It's one that I stock up on. That's why you'll notice I have an old bottle. The new bottles look a little bit nicer, just a little bit of an upgrade from this bottle. And it also has the KB approved at the bottom, um, because I stock up. This is one that you can stock up and store and to make sure that I have on hand. This is one I stock up on because I know that the sourcing on it is incredibly hard. It's one of the hardest for me to source to find what meets that standard. And I don't want the ones that have the high heavy metals because that's the antithesis of everything that I'm looking for it to do. The high heavy metals negate that completely. And so it is one that I stock up on. Liver 25. Now, I am going to say this, wholesalers, the sale is not for you. It's not for you. And so we will stop and flag wholesalers from stepping in and purchasing these. It is for families. It is for and men can take it too. You know me, my focus is women. It is for women. That sale is for families. It's not for wholesalers to step in and buy up everything I have. And I will stop the sale. We've added some new blocks because we've had that happening more recently lately. And that's not my focus. And so it is a great time to stock up though and make sure that you've got enough to get you through. I'm already sourcing again for when this batch runs out. I haven't found it yet, but I'm searching. I work on it weekly to make sure that I can find some to bring back in stock. But I don't bring it back in unless I find the quality. I don't just sell it to sell it and make a profit. I sell it because it's amazing and I can't find the quality somewhere else. And I love sharing it with you. Liver 25, the sale goes till the end of Wednesday. So, like midnight, the sale is done. And it is one of those that is incredibly beneficial. And it is a little bit of a journey to find that place for you. And on my next Oh, you have two backstocked? Amy, that's a great question. Amy just asked, how many do you suggest having on hand? I have two backstocked at the moment. Excuse me. Amy, how many are you taking a day? Because that's going to play a huge factor in how many you're taking. So I do four, about 5 days a week. 4 to 5 days a week. And so, for example, if you're taking one, that backstock, is going to last you longer. I have to tell you, I don't like to be, oh, 4 a day. I don't like to be under 12 because this is such a hard one. Now, that may not be a good fit for you. That's my backstock on this one. I just don't like to be under 12 because that time that I didn't have it, I saw the difference in my body. My liver enzymes went up. I just saw so many changes in my body. And it's just such a power food. And so for me, 12, you determine what would be a good fit for you. Um, I have good news. Acerola is in port. Bad news, we've got a paperwork issue. They're holding us up on a paperwork issue. So I'm working that one also and making sure that we get that through port. It is in port and we just want to bring it to us. And working, my husband is actually helping on that one because I got a little overwhelmed and said, I'm drowning. And so he said, here, let me take the paperwork on the acerola. So he's working on that one. Um, oh, and then Amy, And everybody has to do what they're comfortable with. The FDA sets the guidelines, and I have used them personally. I've used them past what the FDA says I can put, and I'm very comfortable with that. Some people are not, so you do what's best for you on that one. So that's a very personal choice on that one. Okay. Oh my goodness, it was absolutely wonderful being with you today. Just closing out one more time, reminding people the power of liver to heal your liver, support your body, add, let's see, let's go over all the things. We talked about nucleic acid, we talked about vitamin C, we talked about vitamin B12, we talked about easily absorbable iron, we talked about nucleic acid, we talked about vitamin A, we talked about vitamin D, we talked about K2, powerhouse of nutrition. Powerhouse of nutrition. It's on sale right now. Livingthegoodlifenaturally.com. And the coupon code is liver25. So liver25 will get you 25% off. I don't put this on sale very often because it is a hard one to source and find. But this weekend, as I was talking to women, I was like, oh man, I this is going to be my focus on Monday. The other beautiful thing about desiccated liver when it's there, that was my mom calling, so I'm going to end this and go call her back. She FaceTimed. Um, the other thing, it's got natural whole food magnesium. How beautiful is that? It's powerhouse. Livingthegoodlifenaturally.com, liver 25. And I think is what we'll do our next magnesium masterclass that happens on, and it will be happening the first Monday in April. Now you do have to sign up for that. It only goes out to certain places. I don't post it on social media. I keep that a little more protected, so we don't have to filter the people that come on that have ill intent, because that happens now. Um, is what I'll do at the end is do a very specific Q&A. So if you get this and you start it and you've got questions, we'll do a very specific, the next masterclass is going to be focused on Hashimoto's. I'm changing it up a little bit, and I'm going to focus on a very specific like thing for each masterclass. And so we'll be focusing on Hashimoto's, and then we'll do a Q&A on desiccated liver to see, and if there is somebody that's like, oh my gosh, okay, this happened, and then I could just share thoughts on what I've seen. Again, not a doctor, not diagnosing, not telling you what to do, just sharing information of what I've learned and what I've seen on my journey of creating and maintaining optimal health. And so Shelley has already thrown up the link to sign up for the Good Journal, and that's the only place that that link goes out for that class. And we're doing a few little change ups on it. The class itself will always be free, and we'll be adding some other things that if you want to purchase on top of that, you can, but the actual class itself will always, that's my promise to you, it will always be free. And the recording for a certain amount of time will also. And I'd love to invite you to be a part of that. And we just go a little bit deeper. Now, let me say, I have a boundary. Oh, do I have a boundary? Healthy woman, healthy boundaries, right? Unhealthy boundaries got me really sick. And this is a boundary I have drawn, and I have drawn it strongly, and you may or may not agree with it, and that's fine. To be a part of this free class that I am offering you, you must be on video. You must. You wouldn't show up to a regular class with a paper bag on your head and not show people who you are. We create community together in this class. Healthy women are connected women, and we create community together. And if you're not showing up on video, you're not a part of the mission of this class. And I hire someone to take you out of the class. It is what it is. That's my boundary. It also keeps me safe and it keeps you safe because that way I can see immediately, my team can see immediately if there's a problem. And we have had that happen before. And it shook me a bit. And it was a little bit before I even got back on and did classes because I thought, do I want to expose myself to that? And so it is a boundary I have set for myself that also benefits you. So right now, let's say maybe you don't have you haven't learned how to get on Zoom, go practice. I hire a 10-year-old, find a 10-year-old and say, hey, here's $5. Help me figure out how to get on Zoom with my video on. Because if you don't have it on, you will be taken out of that class. And I'm not saying you have to have your face right there. We'll see people driving, we'll see people sitting at their desk, working, doing that kind of thing, but you must have your video on. If not, and we were doing the please take it off, please, or please put your video on, please put your video on. Now, if it's not on, I tell people at the beginning, if it's not on, you're just taken out and you're blocked and you don't come back on, because I want that support that I bring for myself and to make the class better. I want them working on making the class better, not just reinforcing a boundary that some women will not follow. That is my boundary on that class. I've set it strong. I hold it strong with love. And if that's a good fit for you, I'd love to have you on the class. I'd so love to have you be there. Thanks for joining me today. I may see you on the Magnesium Masterclass. If you can't join it live, I do send out the recording, and we will have a Q&A if you've started taking your desiccated liver. So if you wanted to order it today, Emily will get it shipped out to you so quickly. You can start, and then that way your questions on the masterclass at the end, after we focus on Hashimoto's, at the end we'll do a Q&A just on liver and what your experience is and if there's anything that I can do to support you. So I'd love to have you be there. Have the best day. Bye.